It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Good afternoon, guys. 3 p.m. CET, 2 p.m. London. Piotr here, meaning that we are going to cover New York Cash Open live only here on Liteforex Global YouTube channel. Let's start with risk warning. Guys, please bear in mind, trading FX on margin, trading crypto on margin carries a high level of risk. May not be suitable for all investors. You can sustain a loss of some or all initial investments, so please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Okay. That should be fine here. Good afternoon. Within the next 10 minutes we are going to connect with Michał, so he's going to try to summarize the last 24 hours, maybe a little bit more, from White House administration perspective, as well as directly from the President Trump perspective, the latest activity. Looks like market is switching ahead of the New York Open, is switching towards risk on. As you can see, I've got a very tiny, very small exposure on euro dollar based on what we have here, very tiny. I'm ready to add based on the levels we discussed this morning, as well as because we are below the weekly open. I also took very tiny short gold right now. So in case of the continuation of the risk on, I think we might see attempt to get back inside to the old yellow range, and we might see at least retest of 1490 and 1480, at least the bottom of that range. Hopefully it's not gonna disturbing you, those exposure, as we are going to concentrate on the current activity. I like what is going on with yen crosses. Unfortunately, didn't quite yet have a chance to grab some dollar yen longs, but looks like, based on what we've seen yesterday, that could be the case, that we are already within the good level to try to jump in. But from the daily chart perspective, if you remember, I think that we might retest 25, if not 105, right? Then also 104.80 might be in play based on the swing low combination from the hourly chart. I like pound yen, but lower, right? I like pullback towards 129.20, 129, 128.80. From the higher time frame perspective, I think we might retest 132 very soon. Looks like the today's low already, that was the buying opportunity during the London session. We'll see if we can retest these levels again. I'm monitoring very closely what is going on after the breakout with the Chinese yuan. Eventually, if we are going to see move back below 714, that might spur additional risk on environment. We will see. Euro dollar about to retest today's low as well as yesterday low. Again, I'm looking to buy. Pound trying to test the top of the falling channel based on the daily chart. Here probably here I'm going to have to wait and be a little bit more patient, because in case of the short, as I mentioned, I want to see some kind of the upper shadow and then close inside. That might produce the bearish activity, or in case of the breakout retest, I might try to join the party to the upside. Dollar yen discussed. Euro pound trying to retest the most recent low over here. And in case of that breakdown, we might see retest of 89.90, 89.70. We are approaching end of the month also, that's the quite important. So if you remember, very often we are discussing that thing. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and some guys on the spot market, they are going to try to finish their business towards the end of the month on spot. And if you remember T+2 to get the settlement on Friday, last trading day of August, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm not. They have to do their business tomorrow the latest, right? So again, we have a meeting tomorrow, same like today, 8 a.m. CET, 7 a.m. London, pre-London Open, and then 3 p.m. CET, 2 p.m. London. We are going to cover New York cash market, New York cash open, right? So that's gonna be very, very interesting tomorrow. I do expect some kind of the volatility. So more or less we know where we are from the FX perspective, from the gold perspective. Monitoring this Nasdaq here, but from that perspective, I would like to rather buy deep, and my deep is below 7,500 based on my chart I have here. So eventually I would like to see a little bit deeper pullback. That would produce the pullback on the yen crosses as well, right? Anyway, 3:10. So let's check what Michał got for us today. It's gonna be today is gonna be a little bit different. I'm going to ask Michał to share with us in a dynamic fashion what he collected. So I'm not going. I will try not to disturbing him today. So guys, please stay with us. We are going to be back together within the next few seconds. Hi Michał, how are you doing?
Hello. I'm great. After what I heard from you, that you will try to not disturb me.
Yeah, because there was a plenty of information around. So we would like to hear what did you collect over the course of the last 24 hours. Looks like the White House administration was very busy. President Trump was very busy, especially on Twitter. So first, whatever you have for us, and then eventually we will, if we have some time, then we can have short discussion.
I will try to also be very short because yeah, most of all it was like from the Friday when the trade war began to escalate after those after the China new tariffs on US goods and the answer from the Donald Trump. It began, yeah, to escalate very much after that, and in the during the G7 meeting we heard also many of the opposite discussion from the Donald Trump, opposite things he said about it, and the core is that he is trying to of course his problem with the China is, of course, that he is accusing them for the unfair trade policy and unfair trade deals, and he's trying to, like, make a fair deal for everyone. And he is at the after the Friday, he showed his like this angry face, and what you said before, that he is a little bit of a maybe new dictator of the world. Yeah, and I may a little bit. Agree and disagree, because yeah, he mentioned on the Twitter that his stock market, when he commented the performance of the stocks, and during the meeting with the Angela Merkel, he also said that yeah, it was very meaningful. We are than any time before, yeah, and right now they are in the strongest position. And maybe right now we can make a fair deal for everyone when they are the strongest on the strongest position, right, in the negotiations. So from this side, he thinks that yeah, only in this situation a fair deal can be done, right? When there is no like the discussion, when he has the all arguments in hand. So from that perspective, I can agree, but all the things from the other side, I think he has a very good reason, because at the end of the year, the surplus of the trade balance for the EU and Japan, it will be around 650 billions, and yeah, everybody, the EU and the Japan was making money on the US back. For the at least decade from now. So again, from his perspective, I think from his perspective is a little bit understandable. His action, maybe not understandable the way what he wants to do, but how he is doing it.
That was my way of thinking yesterday. That
yeah.
Of course I agree that he is trying to do all he can for the purpose of this trade balance differences, but the way he's trying to deal this stuff, it's horrible.
Yes, it's horrible, but he mentioned that that's his way doing business, and it helped him through a lot through all these years during when he was leading the company, his company, right?
But we have to remember that he was bankrupt once or twice, and
yeah.
currently his shares of his I forgot. I'm sorry. Anyway, the shares fall to the penny. They are treated as a penny stock right now. So yeah, okay. If he that could be the explanation when he's trying to make the business what is going on, either bankruptcy or going to penny stock.
Yeah, because the trade war will hurt everybody, and of course, mostly the manufacturing in USA, because the tech supply chain is. It is what it is, and the most of the tech companies rely on China manufacturing, and yeah, it is like the very hard work for the U.S. economy also, and we will. I think yeah, that what did you mention before? He wants to during the year of the election wants to make a fair deal and go out as a winner of this whole situation, and we see also that. at the beginning of the G7, he was when the French President Macron wanted to like introduce him to a new meeting with the Iranese president, right? Iranese representatives. He was saying that, oh yeah, maybe I should throw new tariffs on French wines and German cars. Then we will discuss that again, right? And after the weekend, what we see? We see that he's saying, let's make Iran rich again, right? And he doesn't want to change the regime. He just wants to rethink that the tariffs, the actions taken before against Iranians. He just wants to denuclearize the Iran, right?
Yeah.
So yes, he is. It's hard to right now. It's hard to It's hard to have the one-way thinking of his action, because he's denying one speech after another speech, and I think it's hard to focus on some one-way direction of his actions, because the trade war will finish both of the economies, and will put the global economy for the recession. But at the end of the day, in the long term, they will have to make a deal. And it's not like he's saying that he's it's a very good manipulator. You also mentioned that before, and we can see that he stated that the Chinese are feeling the tariffs, are hit by the tariffs very badly, and they don't have any no choice but to make a deal. And after that, he also said that the Chinese representatives, Chinese core representatives for the trade were having very important calls with the U.S. Treasury and the U.S. representatives, and after that, only Mnuchin confirmed that, but without any comment. And of course, China denied that. They just said that there were no calls, no significant contact were made.
That's fascinating. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
I can't understand it.
Yeah, that's right. It's hard to say. Trump asked for the comment about that. He just said they made that call with the exclamation mark, right? And yeah, that was all. That was all when he was asked about that. So I really don't know what to think about after this very busy weekend. And what I can say, maybe he just wants to make a diversion, saying all the good things about Xi Jinping right now, and that he is a great leader and stuff like that. About yes, just to take a the diversion for the media to focus on other things, right? On other things rather than his latest, denying himself in various speeches. About the Trump more, what we can say, I heard also the comment from the other representative that China supposedly will not impose new tariffs on U.S. goods, and China is saying that they have nothing to lose right now. They were hit by the tariffs, the situation in Hong Kong, the situation with Taiwan, and they right now have nothing to lose. So I guess it will continue to escalate, like they said before, the China representatives, and also the Huawei, one of the most important things, the Huawei ban, and they just said also before, I don't quite remember the name of the representative, but they were saying that it will escalate furthermore within the next months, and we didn't have to wait very long, couple of weeks, and G7 meeting, and we see in very short period of time it escalated very much.
But anyway, what was supposed to be ugly Monday or Black Monday yesterday, it was thanks to the White House administration manipulation as well as President Trump tweets. Doesn't matter if that was true or no. Algos love it, push the stocks higher after the hitting the stops over the course of the Tokyo session. So what do you think what's going to happen over the course of the US session today?
For the US session today, I don't know, maybe it will work. His words become a flash, and he is trying to push those speeches like yeah, we're gonna make a deal and stuff like that. We are very close to that. I think maybe in a short time they will still be, because we have already those delay on the tariffs and for the December 15. So I guess during that time maybe those what I can say, what put in a good words. There are many comments that the investors are getting much are having much more anxiety and feeling the pressure that the recession might come might hit them very soon. But I think it at least I'm keeping my words that I said before, that at least I think till the beginning of the 2020 we will see still rising of the stocks, maybe with the couple of corrections, but the direction will be up.
Okay, I have to make.
What is your version? Maybe
I have to make a break here because we have very important information doing the round right now. Looks like that was the reason of the pound spike last minute or so. The EU may reopen withdrawal agreement following G7 talks, and that's from the UK official. Of course, I hate where there is no name behind, because all those fake news services, as Mr. President Trump would call them, they usually not using the names, just, in that case they can write whatever they want, but looks like the news is doing the round and it's supporting the pound right now, right here. That might add into the risk on environment during the New York Open. And I agree with you. We should see, especially from what I'm watching right now, especially from the end of the month flow. Yeah, we might see positive sentiment. There are some certain levels to the upside which not been tested yet and might be tested, as you know. End of the month flow, window dressing, that's the one thing. Then at the very beginning of each new month, the funds are buying, the pension funds are buying. So for example, from the Nasdaq perspective, as we have 5 minutes to go to New York cash open, so we can do the chart of the Nasdaq right now. If you guys remember, we have this 7,750-ish possible supply, which been tested a few times already, and as discussed yesterday, because of this, not only yesterday, we already discussed this possibility a few times. There is what we can see based on the equal moves, finally rise towards 7,850 based on my chart. That's what I expect is going to happen over the course of the next few days. We are going to test the latest demand we've seen over here, which pushed us higher towards 8,000, right, or above 8,000, where the top been created. And I think we can try to play out this over-under formation. So I'm waiting very patiently from the medium-term perspective here on Nasdaq. Once we are going to be closer to that level, I might decide, depends on the price action, I might decide to go short around these levels, but till then I think we might see short-term rally. So because of this, it might be the idea, unless we are going suddenly switch to risk off, because that might happen as well. But anyway, if the switch to the risk on currently we see will prevail, I think the buying the dips towards Friday low, that might be the name of the game. So let's switch to the intraday chart. Let's talk about the levels, and what I'm talking about is the zone over here, and we retest yesterday this level, so I think that's the nice pull of the stops. So maybe we will see the stronger pullback to hit this yesterday low to clean the stops with nice rejection. That's what I'm waiting for. This type of the price action move would create probably some panic selling on the dollar yen, and that would be pullback towards 105.25. That's what I'm waiting for from the long perspective on dollar yen as well. That might produce the pullback on pound yen as well towards 129.20. So yeah, let's have a look what we are going to have here. So again, EU may reopen withdrawal agreement following G7 talks, and the information is based on the UK officials. Anything would you like to add, Michał?
Yeah, I told you so yesterday.
You're right. You're right.
That, those informations will be significant also. Yeah, I will not extend this my speech, so I will end here. Yeah.
Okay, Michał, thank you very much.
Thank you also.
Thank you very much for your inputs. So probably we are going to meet tomorrow again. So yeah, then we will have another few minutes to have a discussion. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the New York session, and see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Okay, guys, so let's prepare ourselves for New York cash open. As usual, we are going to monitor first 5-minute trading range. Again, yesterday the move from the bottom was predicted, the size of the move was predicted very nicely. So congratulations to all of you who were either long from the lower levels, or based on this stop count here took some shorts and grabbed few points. Anyway, for today, that's what we are going to watch. I would like to see a little bit of the pullback to have a possibility to maybe try to trade long side, at least for now. That's how it looks for now. I don't know what's going to happen within the next few hours, but that's how it looks for now. So let's switch to the 1-minute chart as usual. Let's watch this first 5-minute trading range on Nasdaq, and then we will see and we may try to have a short discussion about the possibilities, opportunities, choices and stuff like this on Nasdaq. There is the 30 seconds left. Ten seconds left. Three, two, one. The US cash market is officially open. So that's the opening, and it's not gonna to change. That's the first few ticks, and that's what might change, right? High and low within the first 5-minute trading range. monitoring the gold. I'm staying short. My stop is above yesterday high, but in case of the move, aggressive move above the weekly open, I might cut much earlier the short on gold. Also watching carefully developments on euro dollar, retest of the yesterday low, trying to hold. I haven't seen stop hand, so maybe 2-3 pips below with rejection. That could be the case on euro dollar here. It's very narrow, the first minute on Nasdaq. Very narrow. Nothing extraordinary when we are talking about the calendar today, awaiting consumer confidence as well as regional manufacturing index within next half an hour, option expiration when we are talking about the FX. It's worth to mention 111, 500 million on euro dollar, 106, 1.1 billion on dollar yen, and that's the biggest. Market is trying downside here right now. And if that's the case, yeah, we might see the gold. You know what? I'm very tiny in profit. I cut here around the entry, or maybe with tiny profit. I cut the short gold. I will reopen eventually in case of the deeper pullback and recovery on the indices, right? Because if we really are going to retest the levels I've mentioned before, meaning that if we are going to look for some stops below the yesterday low during the cash market, we might see attempt to go higher on gold, and we might create this upper shadow we discussed this morning during the pre-London Open. So yeah, didn't work out, and you know that I do prefer to trade the gold during the US hours instead of the European hours. Even we've seen the attempt to go lower, the range got like 17 points, so less than 20. Not the greatest one. All right, we are 15 seconds. So we are approaching, trying to get back into the cash open, meaning that we have lower shadow. Looks like it might be the doji, but you know, it's less than 20 points, so probably nothing for me, at least for now. Maybe a little bit later. Not good if you are going to go straight from here to the upside. The first thing first, I close my gold short. and we are not gonna see the pullback on the yen crosses, so that's not great stuff. Yeah, we hit the supply. So for sure we hit the stops based on the yesterday high. We are approaching Friday high and the supply we've seen here. In case at the end of the day we are going to be above this yellow range, right? Because there is a still possibility we are going to have equal waves move and rejection. So looks like 130 at the end of the day is a key line in the sand for both bulls and bears. Is a psychological level, right? And I can imagine that some guys were trying to visualize for themselves some kind of the possible head and shoulders looks like formation here, and looks like it might not work the way they would like to. So there might be more stop count very soon on the pound yen, especially if the cable will get back above 123, trying to break the top of the falling channel. But that's gonna be very, very interesting from the end of the day perspective, in my opinion. Because the bears are fighting right now, and that's not surprise for me. Something similar, possibility of this, something looks like head and shoulders might not work here as well. Breakdown on euro pound approaching psychological 90 levels. And the bulls got the problem at the top of the first 5-minute trading range on Nasdaq right now. A little bit of the swing high, but I think the pre-market high is going to be taken out. If not for good, at least to grab few stops to find some kind of the liquidity. So consumer confidence as well as the Richmond Manufacturing Index, earlier S&P Case-Shiller, as I put on the chat, US home price growth slumps to weakest in 7 years. So here is one thing, the Richmond Index and consumer confidence within the next 22 minutes or so. And tomorrow, nothing extraordinary, both Europe and US, just the German 10-year bond auction and US crude oil inventories. So it's worth to watch also today after the New York close. It's also worth to watch the private oil data API. Alright guys, so it's time for the first break today. So the bar is going to be open, tea, coffee, mineral water, whatever you like. Only alcoholic drinks are forbidden. Too early guys, too early, we have to concentrate. So yeah, the charts going to be visible. I'm gonna mute myself and I'll be back around the US data announcement, around the top of the hour, around the option expiration time. So enjoy the break guys, and yeah, we will be back around the top of the hour.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back into our New York cash open live market coverage only here on Liteforex Global YouTube channel. We have a top of the hour. We have US data, US August consumer confidence 135.1 versus 129 expected. Whew. Huge beat. Richmond Third Manufacturing Index 1 versus -2 expectations. Earlier today we had a spike during our previous part. We had a spike on the cable based on the information from UK official that EU may reopen withdrawal agreement following G7 talks. We saw the stop count pullback. Now the thing is that we are still around top of the channel, falling channel from daily. There is a stop count, as you can see. There is we're trying to draw the upper shadow. That's gonna be interesting. That's what we discussed previously. For now, from intraday perspective, we didn't quite close where I've been looking for from the short perspective. This green dotted line is yesterday high, and okay, we have upper shadow, looks like supply, but we are trying to hold yesterday high. We are trying to hold above yesterday high, and that might be the key. So watching right now, doing nothing here on the pound, at least for now. Because of the better data, I might I'm going to make my stop higher, moving my stop higher towards the weakness we've seen here around 85. So I moved my stop. I'm moving my stop even higher because in case of the deeper pullback, I'm gonna be able to reopen, right? So my stop is just shy below yesterday low. The low been tested. We were trying to hold, and because of what I've seen previous hour, I was thinking that we might try to go higher. If we are going to break the low, we might reopen 1080, 1060, 1050. So yeah, I don't wanna be here. Very tiny exposure, lower than usual, the minimum what was possible to open, and that's what I take. So in case of the stop, nothing extraordinary. Previously I've been also long gold. I cut the gold, if you remember, but gold looks shortable again right now here with strong dollar right now. That might be the case to try to join the party on gold as well, maybe. The only thing is that looks like Nasdaq doesn't like the data. Survived by half of the pip or so, at least for now. We'll see what next. To be honest with you, looks like we are a little bit, we have a calmer situation than what we had yesterday. Not big action, at least not big action right now. Euro pound hit also the possible support versus euro, trying to build the lower shadow as well here. So from the pound perspective, it might be the case, the important thing towards the end of the day. That's why, of course, the fix within next hour or so, London fix might be we might get some answers as well. Here, because of the first 5-minute trading range very narrow on the Nasdaq, that's what I mentioned before. I'm not sure what's going to happen, and looks like market doesn't know as well, right? A little bit to the upside, stop count. That's what we were talking about. That pre-market high is gonna to be taken out, then strong pullback. But we're trying to hold the stop count, pre-market stop count over the course of the first 5-minute trading range, so over under. So yeah, okay, cable is trying to pull back, going under the yesterday high. Again, from the bigger perspective, here on Nasdaq, we still at least can see 7,750, 7,700 minimum, and then 7,950 based on my chart, right? But to try to join that party, I would like to see the pullback towards the yesterday cash low over here somewhere. Yeah, right after the open. And that might produce the pullback on the yen crosses, because if you remember, if you are watching the previous part, I'm looking to buy dollar yen closer to or below 105.25. I'm looking for possibility to go long on the pound yen around 29.20 or below. Taking into the consideration end of the month flow, which probably we will see in a full throttle tomorrow, and then again last day, it's a time today to try to make the pullback. If you remember, in June we held 3 educational webinars. That was the big blocks. From the mid of September, or maybe from the mid-September, beginning of October, somewhere here, I'm going to start the very short lessons, like 10-15 minutes videos. So in case you like this type of the educational materials, they are gonna be also available here on the Liteforex Global YouTube channel. But as I mentioned, I will start somewhere late September, beginning of October. There are some changes, and some changes are coming. Late September, beginning of October. I'm not gonna share the ideas right now, but I do believe you will love it. Just a reminder, we do have a meeting tomorrow at 8 a.m. CET, 7 a.m. London. We are going to cover pre-London Open, and then again 3 p.m. CET, 2 p.m. London. We are going to cover a New York Cash Open. And Thursday, big day. Yeah, as usual, morning pre-London Open live market coverage. But at 2 p.m. CT, 1 p.m. London on Thursday, we are going to cover USGDP live. Friday, again, morning meeting as usual. Then at 2 p.m. CT, 1 p.m. London, we are going to cover Canadian GDP. So from the trading perspective, intraday trading perspective, Thursday, Friday, at least for now, looking good. Again, talking about some bigger perspective, for example, for euro dollar, trying to cancel the bearish view right now from the medium term perspective, right? My long here is purely speculative based on what I've seen intraday. Unfortunately, looks like I might be wrong. But from the medium term, neutralize scenario above 1160, and totally medium term possibility of the bearish view cancellation above 1250, and everything closer to 12, 15, 25, 50 for me, at least for now, as a selling opportunity. And think we got the chance to see the spike there. Looks like it might be a late summer lullaby day today. Looks like it might be the peace day from the bulls and bears perspective. Maybe they don't want to hurt each other today, and fight will start tomorrow. Yeah. Or maybe market simply still trying to figure it out. The big boys still figure it out. What the heck has happened since Friday, right? How to approach the fireworks we've seen. Move below this spike, bottom candle here, as well as below weekly open, might produce big trouble for the buyers on candle. That's the looks like right now, and it might be confirmed under the candle that it was just pure stop count. Market found the liquidity, and we might see the opposite direction. But again, end of the day, probably gonna be the key for pound overall on the market, not only cable but pound yen, euro pound. Looks like we are breaking the fastest line connected through the last two swings. But of course we need the close to confirm that. 6 seconds. It's a 15-minute chart. Okay. Trying to hold the bottom of that candle. On the other hand, bulls are looking to hold the bottom, maybe with lower shadow, move back above the trend line. That will open the possibility to create a new high of the day. $50-50 for me. Not action taken right now. There is one more thing, even if we are going to go below that breakout candle, but only with lower shadow, we might retest the shoulders, what was supposed to be the shoulders of the something looks like head and shoulders, and looks like being broken. So yeah, it's worth to watch very, very carefully, because I think as of now there are still possibilities we are going to see more fireworks to the upside. Retest of this broken trend line in case of the move. I would like to see 1-to-1 and retest of the weekly open. What I'm talking about, that's the pullback, quite aggressive one. So from where doing the equal wave, so something towards 23. Okay. But right now looks like the broken trend line works as a dynamic supply. So if you are a bear, aggressive one, you know what's the drill here. I'm not. Okay, so there you go. 1 minute ago, President Donald Trump tweet. And he tweeted about the Italy starting to look good for the highly respected Prime Minister of the Italian Republic, Giuseppe Conte. Represented Italy powerfully at the G7, loves his country greatly and works well with the USA. A very talented man who will hopefully remain Prime Minister. So if you are a short at the trend line retest after the breakdown, right, something around 80, you want to at least take partial here around the weekly open, so you are good for something like 15-20 pips right now, plus minus. You don't want to gamble, right? I think we might see some upside pressure from around weekly open. So congrats if you are a short, but you know, you have to actively manage the position, taking partially something from the table, right? And right now you want to see 15-minute chart, then early closing below the weekly open blue dotted line. So congrats if you took the break of the fast trend line, short setup. Yeah, I've mentioned if you are aggressive, you know the drill. And I've said I'm not. But again, if you are short, you want to actively manage what you have right now. See, we are building the shadow right now. at least trying to. Is it going to work? I don't know. Especially that this is the hour like right now I don't like personally because of this approach towards the London fix. So that might be the line in the sand here, and if there is a long lower shadow and close above, that might be 15 minutes winning for the bulls, but still like 9 minutes to go. We didn't fulfill the equal waves to the upside yesterday, but maybe we are about to create equal waves to the downside, and from here that would open this 105.25 on dollar yen. On the other hand, you may want to go even lower, right? So that's the bottom of that breakout candle. So might be the case of the, in case you would like to rejoin eventually the short side, that might be the case for the bear flag, right? But in that case, you want to see one more attempt to go lower, false first break of the flag, going higher, and then final move. That also could be the case. That was the bigger, so probably this one is not worth to take into the consideration. So probably the one here, the one here, and that could be the case as well. So this weakness here from Friday. This one over here. So the zone we discussed earlier, deeper pullback. As well as possible rising channel. Plenty of different explanations here. So that's gonna be the bottom of that channel at some point over the course of the day or tomorrow. In that case, you may try to take the advantage of the possible over-under. So we broke and retest fast line. So I don't care anymore about this fast line. So the retest of the yesterday high, retest of the Friday high, creation over-under creation, and trying to test bottom of the channel. Many different scenarios. Looks like might be a bit deeper move. So let's have a look what we have in terms of the, there was less than 20 compared to where we are on the scale, not big move. Let's have a look where we are eventually making measure of 3. And looks like that would do the thing for us. No, it's still plenty of space to yellow. No, it wouldn't. Sorry guys. Not gonna work our way today on Nasdaq. In the meantime, that was the good idea to cut gold short. Was around the entry, maybe with tiny profit, catch up in MACD, maybe. Anyway, lullaby day. Guys, if you have a questions, that's the very good and right time right now to ask these questions. So I'm going to wait a few minutes for the questions. If there are no questions, we will slowly going to finish our meeting, as unfortunately today not enough moves. I survived by half of the pip, maybe even less on this long euro dollar. We'll see. Watching very carefully this cable. This over under might be in play from the short-term perspective, trying to reach the bottom of the channel. But conservative traders want to see where the cable overall pound is at the end of the day, because of what we already discussed. even we don't have great data tomorrow, but again, because of T+2, I do expect some fireworks, especially afternoon around the London fix when some guy, and then closer to the US cash close, as the big guys trying to make the spot settlement this month, they will have to do the move tomorrow, right? And then again, some kind of the flow related to the end of the month on Friday. In both cases, we have afternoon meetings, so hopefully we'll be able to take the advantage of some moves. Okay, so there was an attempt to go lower on the pound on this 15-minute chart through the weekly open, trying to get back below, but the 15-minute candle closed above, right? So there might be attempt to try to push a little bit higher, But if you are aggressive seller from the after the breakdown on the trend line and retest of that trend line, you are fine with the half and your stop is +1, so it should be safe. Your target is bottom of the channel we just discussed. Euro pound, after hitting the almost 90, trying to recover, trying to get back above 50, but in case of the upper shadow at the top of the hour and closing below, right, it might be retest of 90 psychological level, moving even lower towards 89.90, 89.70. Also, the good thing is that summer holiday is coming to the end, so September is coming, yeah, meaning next FOMC is coming, meaning Mr. Powell is gonna be that's gonna be another time when Mr. Powell is under pressure. So if there are no questions, guys, I'm gonna mute myself. Saying thank you very much. Again, as usual, it was my pleasure to be with you here. The charts are gonna stay a little bit longer. I'm gonna mute myself in case of anything towards the London fix. Eventually, I'm going to make the note on the chart. So if you are interested in watching the charts towards the London fix, they're gonna be visible. That's it from me. Have a great rest of the session. Don't be trapped, guys. You're more than welcome to join me tomorrow twice, 8 a.m. CT or 7 a.m. London. We are going to cover pre-London Open live, and then again 3 p.m. CT or 2 p.m. London. We are going to cover New York Cash Open again. Thank you very much and stay tuned. Goodbye.